Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
And counsel, the court sees on the docket sheet that there may have been some issues with competency. Was that addressed?
It was, Your Honor.
All right.
He's been adjudicated competent at this point, as well as there have been changes that I've seen in my client from the beginning of representation till now. And even at the time, and you and I discussed this when I requested it, even at the time, I thought he was competent, but I had enough questions that I thought it was worth having a mental health professional review it at that time.
All right. According to the plea, the state is recommending deferred. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Megan Amanda Cromb, Cal Casper. There's to be a mental health evaluation. Follow those recommendations. They're going to give a judgment satisfied in the following cause numbers. County Court cause number 724-258, 724-259, 724-260. And do you understand if the court finds that there's an affirmative finding of a deadly, if the court were to find that there was a deadly weapon used, that the court will make an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon? Did you understand that? Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 10 years. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Sure.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states one and attachments.
No objection, Your
All
Honor.
right. And state, have you had a chance to speak with the complainants?
We have, Your Honor.
And are they aware of this agreement and agree with it?
Yes, Your Honor, to both counts. They are aware and they do agree with it, Your Honor.
All right. And are they asking for the no contact?
We put in the no contact. They're good with it.
Judge, I believe at this point, my client is also okay with no contact, rather. They are related. However, the person that he most would like to visit with is his grandma. And grandma can leave the house. She's a good physical, so she can come visit them without him going to the house and being near Megan.
All right. So here's my question, and this is before I've made a finding. I just want to ask these questions in case the state needs to confer. All right. So is he currently seeing a counselor or seeing anyone to work through any issues?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You are still senior.
Yes, I have my own counselor. I set up with the appointments to better myself. I've been going through some stuff with my grandfather passed away, so I thought counselor would be the best thing. I haven't found that the court appointed ones that were from misdemeanor court. I didn't like their services. I think it's Center of Health, whatever. I didn't like their services, so I went out on my own and I went to ThriveWorks. That's the counselor I'm seeing is with them.
Have you been following their recommendations?
For the most part, yes, sir.
For the most part.
So I'm trying to get back on medications because the Center of Health isn't working out their medications. But
Can you explain why? Sorry.
It's just, I've been on them for a couple months and I haven't seen no changes in those medications. So I am currently trying to find a prescriber that will prescribe something that I'm used to and I know it's working at the time.
Well, have you informed Center for Healthcare Services that the medications?
And they're not listening to me. They keep trying to upper the dose or lower the dose or some stuff that I know doesn't work. And I keep telling them, it's not working for me. I know this isn't gonna work. And I keep trying to give them recommendations like, this is what I need, this is what I don't need. And they're not listening to me. So I'm trying to go to the MAC. They help with a lot of assistance, but it's a 6 week wait. So I'm just waiting on to hear back from them and they'll help me with my medications.
Everyone, please whisper.
So far that's going well. I've been checking in with the MAC and stuff to get the services. But right now I'm just in counseling, taking it day by day. I'm in school and so forth.
All right. So here's my question. Does anyone think with regards to the no contact order, since he's in counseling, is there any benefit to changing that for it to be no in-person contact? Because maybe they want to start with phone calls. If not, just let me know.
is it possible, Your Honor, that we could keep it as a no contact for now, and then if Colin and I confer or things change, we'd be able to approach the court together to maybe make a modification?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right. All right. So what is your relationship to Mary Cromb?
That's my step grandmother.
Okay.
And that was the person that I was referring to when I said she has the capability of leaving the house to visit him.
All right. Does she want to visit him?
She does.
Okay.
That's the only grandma he's known.
Okay.
She's been in his life, his entire life.
All right. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right. Does anyone want to speak to the length of probation?
I usually let counsel go. Do you mind if I get us started on for this one? So, Your Honor, we conferred at length on multiple occasions here. In terms of the length, we want this individual to have as much supervision as possible. And given their willingness to accept a plea with respect to, in particular, those 3 JSATs, in connection with this case and the no contact we've already spoken about, given that it's the nature of the deferred, again, we were hoping for the maximum opportunity to supervise and give this individual a chance to turn things around.
All right, then it will be 10 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Megan Amanda Cromb, Cal Casper. There's to be a judgment satisfied in the following cause numbers. County Court at Law 724-258, 724-259, 724-260.
Judge, just for the record, we completed those plea bargains, JSAT and County Court 13 impact this morning. Those have been completed at this time.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs. All right. So ThriveWorks, who do you see there?
I have to look at my phone what her name is. I don't have it by heart yet. I've been going for about 3 weeks, but I haven't got her name down yet in my mind yet.
All right. So what you're going to have to sign a release so that probation will know what's going on with that. And how often are you seeing them?
She was busy this week. It's usually once a week. But I just started back in school, so I'm trying to get my schedule settled with schooling. But I think we have another appointment maybe next week.
All right. You're going to sign a release and you're going to continue with your treatment at ThriveWorks. And I know my accent is getting in the way, so it's ThriveWorks.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And probation, their number is 571-771-2478. That's 571-771-2478. Now, with regards to your medication, it says that ThriveWorks, they have psychiatrists and they do medication.
They do. I was talking to one of the ladies there and she recommended me find one that's an in-person person because they can do more than I guess someone that's on Zoom. Because I think she's only Zoom. I don't know, it's weird. She just recommended me to find someone that's like more of in person, like Center of Health, for instance. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get it as quickly as possible because I know I need to get back on meds.
So are you on any medications at all?
Yes and no. Really mainly no, because the other ones aren't really working. But I found new coping skills and everything else to keep me calm and collected.
So what are you receiving medication for? What's your diagnosis?
For my anxiety, my PTSD, my ADHD, my depression, and my autism.
All right, so here's the thing. I know you understand and you're saying that Center for Healthcare Services is not listening to you. I understand that. Sometimes doctors don't listen to people. They want to go through their steps that they always go through. But you know you're supposed to be on some form of medication and you need to be on medication. So it's either going to be medication through Center for Healthcare Services or either you're gonna go through ThriveWorks. But you're gonna have to get on your medication, and I'm gonna give you 3 weeks. And so it's either gonna be probation, it's either gonna be Center for Healthcare Services, or either it's gonna be ThriveWorks for him to get in compliance with his medication.
So I should be with the MAC before 3 weeks. I
Okay.
should be with them, and if I do, I can always contact probation.
And what does MAC stand for?
I don't remember what it stands for, but I know they work with a lot of like autism and stuff too. So it's over like
It is it through the Behavioral Health Center?
maybe, I don't know. I know it's like Morgan's Mac or something like that. They have like colorful, like a little butterfly and stuff, you know.
Okay.
Oh, I think I found it because I see the butterfly.
Mhm.
Morgan's MAC is Multi-Assistance Center. If you want to look it up on your end,
Sorry.
Multi-Assistance Center. A collaborative care community center for individual with disabilities and special needs.
And just one moment, any objection to the court reviewing the MAC?
No objection.
No, not at all.
And we're off the record. I don't see where they do anything as far as,
So they have a lot of things there. They help with like finding jobs, medications, counseling, and then a mixed up majority of things. It's a big building, so they have like different offices in there.
probation. Have you ever had any contact with MAC? Okay.
If I might make a suggestion, Your Honor.
Oh, just one
Yeah.
moment. I'm reviewing something. Well, what I can tell you, MAC, you know who's under their umbrella from what I'm looking at online?
Uh,
Center for Healthcare Services.
Really?
And that's where they'll be sending you to.
Oh, wow.
So,
I guess I'll
because
just stay with
everything
the-
else,
I'll
so
just-
I'm gonna order Center for Healthcare Services.
Okay.
And you will need to advocate for yourself or either get someone to advocate for you with regards to medication.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go back on the record. So the court is gonna order a Center for Healthcare Services referral. If you no longer want to be with them, then you're gonna have to get someone else.
Okay. Do I have to come back to court or do I have to just tell my?
No, probation is gonna let you know, and you need to follow those conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So if
So-
he does find another mental health professional that he would like to see instead, and probation tells him no, there's nothing prohibiting me. from
Here's the
sending him
thing,
out.
probation is not going to tell him no. So I'm referring you to Center for Healthcare Services. The probation officer is right to the back. If you turn to the back, there is Miss Abrams and Caroline. I am letting them know that you're being referred to Center for Healthcare Services. If you do not wish to go to Center for Healthcare Services, the other option and what will be acceptable to the court, if you have another provider, and that means a psychiatrist to issue medications. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. You say you're in school?
Yes, ma'am.
How many hours are you taking per semester?
I don't know what the semester hours is, but I know it's from 6 p.m. to 12 o'clock at night.
Okay,
And then I'm gonna start back at work, which is gonna be from morning to like 5.
all right. There's 200 hours community service restitution. If he provides proof that he is in school full-time, and I know that's at night, but 6 to 6 sounds like some good hours. Each semester that he's in school, states you can deduct 10 hours.
Just if he maintains full employment after he graduates, given that he has a young child, that's one of the reasons he's been seeking to better himself, get back in school, get better employment. If he has full-time employment, could we also work out some type of arrangement where that's forgiven over the course of time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. And there's to be parenting classes. And anger management class. Probation, is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be? Thank you.
What was that, Judge? I didn't hear.
Field visits. And the field visits will be one time per month until he's stable on medication.
And such, just for that, that get into compliance within 3 weeks through either DriveWorks, Sinclair Health Services, or multi-assisted district collaborative care.
Yes.
Is that an actual condition, or are you just going with the Sinclair Healthcare Services referral?
No, it's going to be the Center for Healthcare Services referral. And that place that's the multi-assistance, Center for Healthcare Services under their umbrella. So they're going to send him there anyway. But yes, 3 weeks compliance.
The judge did mention that he could get his own therapist. Okay, making sure.
I understand.
Did that clear up? Or no?
It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, to be successful on probation in this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, go see your probation officer, call them, make sure you leave a message. If you feel as though they're not addressing that issue, then you can always come back to the court. And if I'm here, you can come back and see me.
Okay.
All right?
And I have another question. So the anger management course and the family one, is that just like whenever I have time, or is there like
Oh, probation will set things up. The number one thing I want to focus on right now is getting your mental health issues stable. And probation will focus on your mental health. But then you're going to have to start doing, so you need to focus on that. You need to focus on parenting classes.
I think, and Caleb, correct me if I'm wrong, one of his concerns is missing school based on conflicting schedules. He
no.
didn't wanna get kicked out.
No, nothing is happening with probation at 6 p.m. at night. I don't think probation officer wants to see you at 6 p.m.
Fair enough.
If they do, there's an issue. And in which case you'll be seeing me, not them. And I guarantee you won't be at 6 p.m. Okay. And what's the tattoo on the neck?
It's my wife's name. I'm trying to get some of my tattoos removed. I was young and kind of reckless.
right.
I just don't have $2,000 right now.
Well,
so.
you know, I always say if you're going to put names on your body, the safe bet is your mom, because your mom always loves you, and your children.
I have my
Everybody
mom's
else,
daughter.
Or your judge, your fellow prosecutor.
yeah, let's not do that. I don't want some girlfriend saying, and who's
Fine.
Stephanie Boyd?
Just a reminder.
But you
this
heard
is
him
what
say
I-
prosecutor, so when I get Zach's name on him, he's gotta give me better deals.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Are you the same Caleb Cromb who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 2669 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on June 4th, 2024 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here today on state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Violation of condition number 30. On or about the 31st day of January 2025 in Bear and or McLennan County, Texas. The defendant, Caleb Cromb, did then and there fail to comply with the instructions of Center for Healthcare Services as directed by the head or authorized personnel of that agency, in that the defendant failed to get in compliance with medications in violation of condition number 30.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
The state will waive the other violation.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 30, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 30?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 30 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor. State will make its recommendation. I believe the defense will.
All right, state, what are your recommendation?
Recommendation is for 6 years in the TD plea, Your Honor.
All right, so you're asking for revocation?
Revocation is 6 years.
All right, in defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, the probation recommendation was not to revoke, but to go to in-state ISF. We understand he needs some type of inpatient treatment. I'm not a huge fan of the ISF. I think the county-run services work better than the state, just from experience. I was asking for the DDRF. His mother is here in the courtroom today. Problem with DDRF is there's a 26-week wait. He still wants to go back to, he was in school at the Texas State Tech College. And so he would like to try to continue with that. I don't think it makes sense to go back to Waco. I think he needs to be with his mom where he has more structure. But he clearly needs more structure. He clearly needs to be, we have a lot of problems with people who have some mental health issues not getting on their beds regularly. And that's an issue. And he understands the seriousness of it. And we're asking the court to decide whatever treatment that you think is appropriate.
All right, any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
Not from the state.
All right, so let me find it here. Probation. I don't see the attached notes. All right, thank you.
And at the appropriate time, Judge, he wants to speak on his behalf.
Sure. Thank you. Counsel, did you have a chance to read the notes?
Oh, I've read this.
Oh, and State, did you have a chance to read the notes?
I have not.
If you just give them to the state. Any objections to the court reading that?
No, Judge, and I do, so I do have a letter from that's like the grandfather of the gal he's married to. I do have a letter from her herself.
Okay, all right, and if you'll show that to the state.
I have a,
Well, Sean, you are correct. Allergies are horrible today. I mean, this whole side of me, blockage from allergies. And I don't know, it's only this side.
really?
Yeah, whenever my allergies act up, it's just one side.
Should you have those flowers up there next to you?
Oh, the flowers, let me just tell you, they bring me joy. And if ever you're having a bad day, you can look at the flowers and say, there's beauty in this world.
You have a lot. But is that real? That's not real, right?
No. But we can pretend that orchid is real.
What about those?
No.
Those,
Deputy, yeah, those are real. Deputy Laura actually put that together.
okay.
And then this was a gift to me from a student.
It's pretty.
Yeah. And people always think that this one is real, which you think it's real, right?
That's a better view, the way you
Yes.
turned it.
But you know, I've been trying, we're off the record. While he reviews that, I've been trying to find honeysuckle because it reminds me of my grandmother. You know, it's so hard to find honeysuckle.
I've never really seen it in Texas. We had it a lot in New Jersey growing
Mhm.
up. But I've never really seen it here. Must
So
be too
I'm gonna,
dry.
I tell you what, if I have to bring some back with me from Louisiana, I'm gonna take it across state lines.
I
And
think you're
plant
right.
it. You think I'm okay with that?
You're okay. I'll represent you.
All right, if they stop me on the flight, I'm gonna say,
I
Scott
didn't say on a
Simpson.
flight. I thought you were gonna drive it across.
Oh, I mean, I tell you what, if you're driving from New Jersey, bring some.
Okay.
All right, we're back on the record. So the letters I have were the attachments. And counsel, you have no objections to my seeing the attachments?
No, and then this is so that's a relative of him and his wife are not gonna, I've talked to the Brooklyn, the wife.
Mhm.
And so she got right back to me when I talked to her herself.
All right, and state, you have no objection to me seeing what's purported to be the letter from the wife? All right, yes.
I have additional notes for your review. These are what could be CAD notes from McLennan County regarding the incidents in the letter. I've already turned it into defense counsel.
Any objections?
I'm gonna object to that one, Judge. It's just a reiteration of calls that were made that the grandfather doesn't like him. There's no doubt.
Okay,
And of course, but they don't want to be married anymore. I think that problem's gonna be resolved. Brooklyn does not think he needs to go to prison. The wife herself has a different story than grandpa.
okay, just one last second, let me finish reading this. All right, so I've reviewed that, and you said there's something you wanted to tell the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Cromb.
All right, why are you not doing well on probation?
Your Honor, I moved to Waco to try to better my life and get away from the victims that were here and everything else. A little cheaper up there too. And I enrolled in TSTC or Texas State Technical College, the school. They have a lot of programs there to help me out and stuff like counseling and medication. I've been trying to look for jobs. They're helping me with that. They're helping me look for an apartment. I'm trying to do my best up there. I was in a really bad relationship with this one girl that her grandfather that the reports on. And I'm trying to get out of that relationship right now. I was living with a buddy. I was gonna report with probation. I think that week, the 18th, I think.
All right, but here's the thing. They're saying that you are not complying with the instructions for Center for Healthcare Services. So I want to know why, and I'm not taking 23 as true because they didn't go on 23, but I'm wondering why you're falling off track with your mental health. That's what I want to get to. I already had told everyone that relationship with the was not going to work.
Yeah.
But you and her, because she came in on your behalf, I want to live. I'm like, this relationship is not going to work. But you all two crazy children wanted to do it. So I'm not even into that relationship part. I want to know why you're not following through on your mental health treatment. That's a problem for the court.
So the Center for Healthcare, I don't think they have that in Waco, so I was gonna go with TSTC and do it.
Well,
I
here's the
thought
thing. You're saying you don't think they have it in Waco, but why do you think they don't have it in Waco? Did you report that they give you information?
No, Your Honor, I was just assuming, and I also thought my other attorney had put in the motion for the Center for Health and ThriveWorks to be transferred up there. So I was gonna go with Texas State Technical College.
Oh, no,
for my
Let me
medication.
stop you there. And the reason why I'm stopping you, because you keep getting off track. Condition number 30 states that you did then and there fail to comply with the instructions of Center for Healthcare Services as directed by the head or authorized personnel of that agency, and that the defendant failed to get in compliance with his medication. The fact that you've played true to that tells me that there's a Center for Healthcare Services wherever you were, because otherwise this wouldn't be a violation. They wouldn't have it there. So they're saying that you're not in compliance with your medications and you're not following through on the instructions from Center for Healthcare Services to get in compliance with your medications. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I want to know why you are not following through with instructions for Center for Healthcare Services.
Just misunderstood, Your Honor.
I mean, there's no misunderstanding when they say, hey, you need to get in compliance with your medication. And I'm sure they didn't say you need to get in compliance with your medications. I'm sure it was along the lines of you're not taking your medications. We have reports that you're not taking your medications. You need to get back on your medications, and you didn't do it. That's why you're here.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why are you not being in compliance with your medication?
I have no excuse, Your Honor. And I will accept that I messed up, and I'm wanting, if I can't go back to Waco and finish school.
Oh, you're not going back to Waco. That's off the table.
Okay, and I would like to at least stay with my mom then back down here. I have things lined up ready with,
All right, let me explain something to you, because I'd like for people to know where I am. Number one, if I don't revoke you, you're not leaving custody. You're going straight to DDRF. And DDRF, I know there's a wait time. Now, if you want to discuss that with your attorney, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I don't know, but those are the only things that I'm considering right now. Either it's going to be revocation or either it's going to be DDRF. So before I even give strong thoughts to DDRF, you may want to talk to your attorney about that because of the wait time.
I understand.
And there's no need to come back to me saying, oh, the wait is too long. You know, can I do this from the outside? Because the answer is going to be no. So I don't know if you discussed that with your attorney.
It's a way better outcome than going to prison, Judge.
Well, I mean,
We've
but you
talked
wanna-
about it back and forth. We're not his mother too wanted to see if she could take custody of him. And so I promised I would make that argument. But I do think the DDRF is a good program. I wish the wait wasn't so long, but that's where we are. And if the court would be willing to do that, my client understands that's still a gift compared to being revoked and going to prison.
yes, Your Honor.
all right. And I'm not saying I'm gonna do DDRF, but is there anything you would like to add, state? And
Well, I just want to try and re-urge this because Your Honor is reviewing attachments from the court summary, and this is part of the attachments of the court summary. So if Your Honor's going to take a look at everything, we ask that you take a look at this as well.
no objections to the court reviewing that?
I do object, but that's.
No, I mean, if you object to it as hearsay, then I won't review it. What we can do is we can reset this, and if you want to have witnesses by Zoom to address this, that can be done.
I don't think there's a need for that. I just wanted, Your Honor, if over objection.
I would just ask the court to look at it with some. It's hearsay within hearsay, like, so these are just unsubstantiated reports. And I know the court will look at it critically. That's all I would ask the court, would just don't assume that it's truthful.
All right. So you have no objections to me taking it, as long as I'm not taking it for the truth of the matter asserted?
Well, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. All right, let me review. All right, so this is what I'm going to tell both parties. One, I read all of the hearsay documents. And what I can tell you, do I believe these documents are true? Yes. But I also know that when the grandfather had the police to come out, your wife would not tell them that anything was wrong. And the reason why I believe that she wouldn't tell them is because she doesn't want you to go to prison. And that's what she said. She wants him to get help. She doesn't want him in prison. But do I believe you did everything that's listed in here? Yes. Because all of the evidence point to the fact that you did this. And based upon what I'm reading about her grandfather and your child's great grandfather, because he's the grandfather of your wife, and he's the child's great grandfather. He's concerned about his grandchild and his great granddaughter, and rightfully so. And just so I want you to understand, I understand why he doesn't like you and doesn't want you in their life. Your child, is this a girl or a boy?
It was stepdaughter, Your Honor,
It's on
and it
him.
was a girl.
All right. So,
He
here's
doesn't
the-
have reason for her to
No.
be with her.
and so here's the thing. I don't know anybody here. Raise your hand if you want your daughter or your granddaughter to be involved with somebody who's on felony probation. I don't know anybody who would be like, oh yeah, sign me up. I want my granddaughter to be with someone who is on probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against a family member. I don't know anybody who wants that. So when people are shocked that a relative doesn't like them, I'm shocked that you're shocked by that. And then you have mental health issues on top of that, and you're not taking care of your mental health issues. And I'm sure you're not bringing in money the way you were supposed to. And he's concerned that you're going to be violent towards his great granddaughter. And I always tell people, children have absolutely zero say so in the foolishness that their parents are out here doing. Like the great granddaughter, his great granddaughter, I'm sure she would say, please, I don't want you to be dating Caleb. I don't want Caleb in this household. But she has no say. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've been doing horrible on probation. But I do realize you have mental health issues in state. Let me just explain something. I knew you all want 6 years in prison. He'll be eligible for parole in 3. He's still gonna have the same mental health issues that nobody's going to address. And that's part of the court's issue. So part of the reason why I'm going to deny the motion is, one, because of what probation is requesting. They're requesting ISF. I don't think this is an ISF issue. I think this is an anger issue. I think this is a mental health issue. And I think you're using your mental health issues as a crutch to say, I'm angry because of my mental health issues. I really don't even think that is in any way related to your behavior. But we're going to correct your behavior. And if this correction doesn't take place, you're looking at 20 years in the prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Abrams, gonna deny the motion, alternate in and amend conditions. In custody to the court, he's gonna stay in custody until transfer to ISF. I'm sorry, not ISF, DDRF. And upon release, there is going to be full GPS. and counsel with the full GPS, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna ask that the fees be waived.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And if you want it not to be full GPS, you need to come back here and we will craft something
Yes.
that will protect the community.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with Brooklyn, BROOKLYND, Cromb. There's to be, do you have any children? Biological children?
Well, no.
There's to be no contact with minors. And defendant is not allowed in Waco, Texas. So that means if you're driving somewhere, because full GPS is now partial, you better not drive through Waco.
May I add, if I can at least go to Waco to get all my stuff, because all my stuff is still in Waco.
No, that's, you're gonna have a third party do that.
Okay.
Probation, is there anything else he needs? Could you return that to probation, please?
Yes, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Not that I know, of, Your Honor.
All right. thank
He's got
you.
a very supportive mother, Judge. She's really nice.
He's not allowed, Mom, he's not allowed in Waco. So, and he is not allowed to have any contact with minors. And he's not gonna be, so that means he can't reside in a home where there are minors. Yes, and he's not to have any contact with Brooklyn, his wife. If it comes time where they're doing divorce in the divorce proceedings.
Right, they are gonna have to do that.
Then just approach the court and we will take care of that.
Right.
Not the divorce, but I'll allow him to, if he's supposed to be in court on
Has
a
to be
specific.
served or whatever
Yes.
okay.
Your Honor, if I may ask, how long are we gonna plan for DDRF?
All right, so see,
Don't do that.
we can go off the record. Let me just explain something to you, what you don't understand. You were looking at 20 years in prison. And because this is an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, your attorney will tell you, you would have to do 10 years flat before you're eligible.
And he won't
That's
get out
where-
when he's first eligible.
No,
Generally, you're
probably
serving
not.
75% of your
Yeah.
time.
So here you are, you've just escaped the jaws of the lion. And now you're trying to, oh, how long is DDRF is going to be? Your attorney already told you that. Now, if you would like, because DDRF is going to be a long wait, just let probation know. Don't sign the conditions that I've just set for you. And we will come back quick, fast, and hurry, like today, on another motion to revoke, and I can send you to prison.
No problem. I was just wondering for school.
Oh, school, you're gonna have to pick that up another year.
That's fine.
All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.